Strategies, plans, analysis, we love it, don't we, as athletes? In between impulse and reaction lies intelligence. Training is an adaptation. It's an adaptation to the instinctual aspects of the process, not just a simple reactive strategy to overcoming the challenge. And that's what happens when we get too concrete in the way we think about our plans. The reactive strategies that we employed are a big part of the problem, because a reactive strategy is a strategy to overcome an event that's already slipped into the past. It's already gone. It's not here anymore. So now, we like to plan, we like to strategize our training based on what's happened before, which is, that's fair enough. I mean, we want to avoid making the same mistakes. We don't want to be doing the same thing over and over or creating the same problem twice, right? Like, of course, that's rational. That makes sense. But there's one thing that we can all learn from great champions that we tend to overlook. And what is that? They meet the challenge head on. They allow themselves to be with the pain and the discomfort, and they keep it in the only place that it can be kept, which is here and now. They let go of the past. They let go of the future, because the process is only evolving right now. This is really important for athletes. It's not some airy-fairy stuff. It's solid. And the problem with our overemphasis on plans is that they are projections. They're projections of future outcomes, which adds another layer of complexity called expectation and outcome-based focus. We're out here instead of in here. So in training, if the outcome doesn't meet the expectation, then the tendency is to resist what's happening now. And that's a big problem, because the juice of our training happens now, right here. So if we go back to the lessons that champions teach us, we remember that they allow themselves to be with the pain, directly with the pain. They're not projecting it, they're not rejecting it, they're just with it. And the pain in this case could be twofold, right? Like, there's the physical pain in the process, but then there's the psychological pain in the fact that the expectation is not meeting the outcome. And that in itself creates more physical pain. But the problem here is one is real and one's an illusion. The pain's real. The physical pain's real. The mental ping pong that we play with expectation, outcome, judgment, past, future, strategies, and over-analysis, it's all out here. It's all out here away from the process that we're in right now. It's taking us away. It's dragging us off. And this is not to say that we don't plan. We have to plan. What I'm saying is that in between your impulse with the thought and the reaction to go into judgment is a space of emptiness that we call presence. And that is your goal. That is your ground. That is how you learn to stay centered when the proverbial is hitting the fan, when everything's coming apart at the seams. That's how you stay centered. That's how you meet the challenge. That's how you meet the pain. If we really want to overcome challenge, then we simply must stay with what's happening here and now. If it meets expectation, great. And if it doesn't, you know what? Even better. Because now you have the chance to stay with what is, with what's happening, instead of running away with judgmental thought because it doesn't meet our nice little picture of the projections that we've got in our head. These images that we've created that aren't real, that aren't here now. They're based in an outcome somewhere in the future that we're nowhere near yet. Do you see? It's in between the impulse and the reaction. With this way of operating, you're no longer standing on the outside in mental reaction. You're grounded in what you are doing now. You're learning, you're taking it in, you're adjusting through instincts. You're learning about the true aspects of your own resilience. The only resilience, the only real resilience that you have is here and now. It doesn't exist in the past. It certainly doesn't exist in the future, because if you continue with this way of thinking, then you're disempowering yourself. So we have to have a loose plan that we adjust on the fly, knowing full well what needs to be done. Because rigid strategies create rigid mindsets and rigid outcome-based projections. And if you don't have the capacity in a challenge to meet it through flexibility and non-resistance, then you're meeting it with reactivity. And you know what? When you do that, you're out of your power. You're certainly out of your athletic power. There's absolutely no doubt. That's when you are leaving yourself open to becoming a victim of it instead of empowering yourself to meet it. And this is what the present moment does. This is what meeting the pain does. It gives us the chance to meet it head on. It gives us the chance to feel empowered. I do have some control here. I'm not out of control. And coaches could take note here too. Encourage your athletes to meet the challenge, not to react to it. It's not a reaction. Be proactive. The strange paradox is that the overreaction causes inaction because we collapse into the problems of the past and the fear of the future. That it rips us out of meeting the challenge now. It rips us out of our power, disenfranchises us, disempowers us, disengages us. So plan as you must, because we have to, right? But don't lose your power in it. Execute your plan by staying present and grounded in it. Meet the challenge by meeting the pain and allowing it. Allow it any way it arises. That will teach you more about your potential than any other thing you could possibly do. I hope this helps and I hope it hits the spot. Thanks for listening.